spirit speaking, truth seeking, heart reaching, knowledge leaking, seeds sowing, harvest reaping, man of meager means. I have yet to leave, I'm still breathing. To quit, I have no reason. I mean, I'm asleep, but I be trying to live my dream. I cannot even act if it's all easy. Either you gon' do it or you don't. Really, it ain't no in between. Baby, you can ask the sun. It's an everyday theme. Consistency in your routine is how you bring reality. Working like a slave, that's how I made this masterpiece. Living like a god, I lay at night, I rest in peace. They remember me, but I am not Haram or beef. Don't trust, it's not up to discuss, man. What don't you understand? I know how we could change this world, but it's left up to us. The champ is here, now show me who is my contender. It can't be him, because he look like a pretender. I'm just one person, but I'm a man of the people. You think I'm just rapping, but this shit get a little deeper. What is the cost? The price of life is getting cheaper. My niggas is lost and they just looking for a leader. I got on my knees and gave my bread to the preacher. And on my way home, he rolled by me in the Beamer. Miseducated, even misled by my teacher. Mean, still meager, woke up eager to make a change, but you know that thing ain't easy. I seen a minute quit for that same damn reason. I must ask, what do you believe in? Cause if you ain't pushing, you receding. Death before dishonor and conspiracy and treason. So every day I'm breathing, it's us against the world, pop pumping through my speaker. I know you know every day ain't a sunny day. So when the trouble come, why would you run away? We won't go, they just won't go. And therefore, I can never put my gun away. Some say we should just wait for them to make the change, but I never heard a dumber thing. It's on us, them I don't trust. It's not up to discuss, man. What don't you understand? I gotta make my own dollars, I won't bargain for wages. Police out of control, and they targeting babies. I'm tired of seeing men with the ways of a lady. That shit don't make no sense, but they be calling me crazy. I don't trust a politician because they policy is jaded. All of them shaded, trying to get my privacy invaded. It's like I'm stuck in the web that's full of twists and tangles. I see my blessing sitting right on the hip of an angel. As me and my wise men make our way through the manger. Your troubles are the views to the picture I be painting. Cause everything I'm thinking, you make me wanna obtain it. Scary, ain't it? I'm trying to leave you elevated. Marriage, they shit got me heavily medicated. I meditated, just so it help me manifest it. You only get returns on the time that you invested. That's how it happened. So tell me, how did you expect it? I know you know every day ain't a sunny day. So when the trouble come, why would you run away? We won't go, they just won't go. And therefore, I can never put my gun away. Some say we should just wait for them to make the change, but I never heard a dumber thing. It's on us, them I don't trust. It's not up to discuss, man. What don't you understand? I know how we could change this world, but it's left up to us. The champ is here, now show me who is my contender. It can't be him, because he look like a pretender. I'm just one person, but I'm a man of the people. You think I'm just rapping, but this shit get a little deeper. What is the cost? The price of life is getting cheaper. My niggas is lost and they just looking for a leader. I got on my knees and gave my bread to the preacher. And on my way home, he rolled by me in the Beamer. Miseducated, even misled by my teacher. Mean, still meager, woke up eager to make a change, but you know that thing ain't easy. I seen a minute quit for that same damn reason. I must ask, what do you believe in? Cause if you ain't pushing, you receding. Death before dishonor and conspiracy and treason. So every day I'm breathing, it's us against the world, pop pumping through my speaker. I know you know every day ain't a sunny day. So when the trouble come, why would you run away? We won't go, they just won't go. And therefore, I can never put my gun away. Some say we should just wait for them to make the change, but I never heard a dumber thing. It's on us, them I don't trust. It's not up to discuss, man. What don't you understand? I gotta make my own dollars, I won't bargain for wages. Police out of control, and they targeting babies. I'm tired of seeing men with the ways of a lady. That shit don't make no sense, but they be calling me crazy. I don't trust a politician because they policy is jaded. All of them shaded, trying to get my privacy invaded. It's like I'm stuck in the web that's full of twists and tangles. I see my blessing sitting right on the hip of an angel. As me and my wise men make our way through the manger. Your troubles are the views to the picture I be painting. Cause everything I'm thinking, you make me wanna obtain it. Scary, ain't it? I'm trying to leave you elevated. Marriage, they shit got me heavily medicated. I meditated, just so it help me manifest it. You only get returns on the time that you invested. That's how it happened. So tell me, how did you expect it? I know you know every day ain't a sunny day. So when the trouble come, why would you run away? We won't roll, they just won't roll. And therefore, I can never put my gun away. Some say we should just wait for them to make the change, but I never heard a dumber thing. It's on us, them I don't trust. It's not up to discuss, man. What don't you understand? I know how we could change this world, but it's left up to us. The champ is here, now show me who is my contender. It can't be him, because he look like a pretender. I'm just one person, but I'm a man of the people. You think I'm just rapping, but this shit get a little deeper. What is the cost? The price of life is getting cheaper. My niggas is lost, and they just looking for a leader. I got on my knees and gave my bread to the preacher. And on my way home, he rolled by
peace. Peace and love. Happy Holy Friday. Back again with another BBT book club reading. I'm your host, Mayat Sons, Noble Moso L, Mufti of the Burning Bush Tabernacle, Science Temple and School. And that music you're hearing is one of our nobles, the Muftis, Brian Hicks Bay. Check them out, bhbmusic.com. There's some exclusive right here, but you know, he got transportation of raw materials out to download on all platforms. And again, we are the BBT Book Club, Burning Bush. Hope everyone had a great week. Happy Holy Friday. As we know, all the Muslims just finishing up Ramadan, Eid, you know, and there are many types and many forms of Islam. You know, there's Sufi, there's Sunni, and through Moorish science, we understand that Moorish science is Sufism, one of the oldest ancient forms. You know, no one is better or worse, whatever modality, whatever house you need to become a better man, a better woman, be disciplined. You know, we respect that. I respect that. Hope you continue on your journey for knowledge and wisdom. That's what we do here at the BBT. We study books, we research journal articles, ancient wisdom, ancient books. You know, we get all our books through Grand Sheet, mypdfbooks.com, bindedbooks.com. We have a plethora of documents, literature, ebooks, physical books. And we encourage y'all to reach out to us and, you know, get some of this literature if you want it. Need it in your library if you're a student of knowledge, wisdom, understanding. You want clarity on Christianity, Islam, Judaism, Sufism, Buddhism. You know, there's so many isms. A lot of things are traditions. You know, one is not better than the other. It's not dogma. Y'all should be searching for understanding. The more you study other religions, other spiritualities, that makes you a better person, Helps you to be able to dialogue and walk in any house, through any door. And so tonight, I wanted to touch on a book. It just talks about more in depth on the history and heritage of Islam in the Americas. We have so many documents and books that we've been getting over the last couple of days, honestly. And there's one that I'd like to highlight and just read a little preface of. Give me a second and I'll share my screen. Right here is this book right here is called Deeper Roots: The History of Muslims in America. There's so much unknown, untaught history in the Americas. We've learned so many things from a Christian perspective, not even a African Christian perspective per se, but a colonial Christianity, Greco-Roman Christianity. Yeah, any scholar would know. There's a lot more. There were a lot more cultures in the Americas in the old world, as they say. So I just wanted to highlight this book and one other one. Excuse me. This other book is called American Antiquities and Discoveries in the West, an exhibition of the evidence that an ancient population of particular civilized nations, differing entirely from those of the present Indians, peopled America many centuries before its discovery by Columbus, and inquiries into their origin, with a copious description of many of their stupendous works now in ruins, with conjectures concerning what may have become of them, compiled from travels, authentic sources, and researches of antiquarian societies by Josiah Priest. So this book is chock full of wisdom. American Antiquities and Discoveries in the West, being an exhibition of the evidence that an ancient population of particularly civilized nations, differing entirely from those of the present Indians, peopled America many centuries before its discovery by Columbus, and inquiries into their origin, with a copious description of many of their stupendous works, now in ruins. And again, with conjectures concerning what may have became of them, compiled from travels, authentic sources, and researches of antiquarian societies by Josiah Priest. Excuse me, I just want to get this screen a little clearer. And it says, the volume now laid before the public is submitted under the pleasing hope that it will not be unacceptable, although the subject of the antiquities of America is everywhere surrounded with its mysteries, on which account we have been compelled to wander widely in the field of conjecture, from which it is not impossible, but we may have gathered and presented some original and novel opinions. We have felt that we are bound by the nature of the subject to treat wholly on those matters which related to ages preceding the discovery of America by Columbus, as we apprehend no subject connected with the histories of the continent since can be entitled to the appellation of Antiquities of America. If we may be permitted to judge from the liberal subscription, this work has met with, notwithstanding the universal prejudice against subscribing for books, we should draw the conclusion that this curious subject has not its only admirers within the pales of the antiquarian societies. If it is pleasing as well as useful to know the history of one's country, if to feel a rising interest as its beginnings are unfolded, its sufferings, its wars, its struggles, and its victories delineated, why not also when the story of its antiquities through of a graver and more majestic nature are attempted to be rehearsed? The traits of the antiquities of the old world are everywhere shown by the fragments of dilapidated cities, pyramids of stone, and walls of wondrous length. But here are the wrecks of empire, whose beginnings, it would seem, are older than any of these, which are the mounds and works of the West, towering aloft as if their builders were preparing against another flood. We have undertaken to elicit arguments from what we suppose evidence that the first inhabitants who peopled America came on by land, at certain places where it is supposed to once to have been united with Asia, Europe, and Africa, but has been torn asunder by the forces of earthquakes and eruptions of the water, so that what animals had not passed over before this great physical rupture were forever excluded. But not so with men, as they could resort to the use of boats, We have gathered such evidence as induces a belief that America was anciently inhabited with particularly civilized and agricultural nations, surpassing in numbers its present population. This we imagine, we prove in the discovery of thousands of the traits of the ancient operations of men over the entire cultivated parts of the continent in the forms and under the character of mounds and fortifications, abounding particularly in the western regions. We have also ventured conjectures respecting what nations in some few instances may have settled here, also what may have become of them. We have entered on an examination of some of those works and of some of the articles found on opening some few of their tumil, which have compared with similar articles found in similar works in various parts of other continents, from which very curious results are ascertained. As it respects some of the ancient nations who may have found their way hither, we perceive a strong probability that not only Asiatic nations, very soon after the flood, but that also all along the different eras of time, different races of men as Polynesians, Malays, Australians, Phoenicians, Egyptians, Greeks, Romans, Israelites, Tartars, Scandinavians, Danes, Norwegians, Welsh, and Scots have colonized different parts of the continent. We have also attempted to show that America was peopled before the flood, that it was the country of Noah and the place where the ark was erected. The highly interesting subject of American antiquities, we are inclined to believe, is just but the commencing to be developed. The immensity of the country, yet beyond the settlements of men toward the Pacific, is yet to be explored by cultivation when other evidence and widespread will come to view, affording perhaps more definite conclusions. As aids in maturing this volume, we have consulted the works of philosophers, historians, travelers, geographers, and gazetteers, with miscellaneous notice on this subject as found in the periodicals of the day. The subject has proved as difficult as mysterious. Any disorder and inaccuracies, therefore, in point of interference, which we have made, we beg, may not become the subjects of the severities of criticism. If, however, we should succeed in awakening a desire to a farther investigation of this curious subject, and should have the singular happiness of securing any degree of public respect, and of giving the subscriber an equivalent for his patronage, the utmost of the desires of the author will be realized. Josiah Priest. So that was just a preface, breaking down the many cultures that were here in the Americas before Columbus, before different cataclysms on the land. There were many, it says, floods, land masses broke apart, as we know, Pangea. But there are many discrepancies of what we were told about those times. They tell us in modern schools, that people weren't here during those times. There were no, they tried to say there weren't people here during those times, but this document, this book through the research has other evidence, has other research that we all should definitely be tapped into more. So some of the contents of the book, it breaks down the location of Mount Ararat, the traits of the history of the Chinese before the flood, and their account of it, with other curious matters. The supposed origin of human complexities, with the ancient signification, of the names of the three sons of Noah, respecting a division of the earth by Noah among his three sons, supposed identity and real name of Melchizedek of the scriptures, of qualifications for the Jewish priesthood, and of the location of paradise. Divisions of the earth in the days of Peleg, and of the spreading out of the nations of Ararat, with other curious matters. Antiquities of the West, consisting of mounds, tumuli, and fortifications. Ruins of a Roman fort at Marietta, with conjectures how they may have found this country. Discovery of a subterranean cavity of mason work, supposed to be erected by one of the admirals of Alexander in America 300 years before Christ. Ireland, known to the Greeks 200 years before Christ. Discoveries of subterranean heaths and fireplaces on the shores of Ohio, with conjectures about their origin. Discovery of a curious cup of earthenware. Course of the 10 lost tribes of Israel, with conjectures about the land of Aseret and convulsions of the globe. Traits of the Israelites in Lapland, with accounts of their theology resembling that of the Jews. Traits of the Jews found in Pittsfield, Massachusetts. A late discovery of a vast body of Jews in India. Continues with more contents. A farther account of the convulsions of the globe with the removal of islands. Of the islands of Atlantis, of the ancients, supposed to have been situated between Europe and America. Evidence of an ancient population in America different from that of the Indians. Discoveries on the Muskingum of the traits of the ancient nations, consisting of mounds, tumuli, and a vault, brass rings, a large skeleton, stone abutments of ancient bridges, a tessellated pavement with articles denoting a Hindu population, origin of houses among men, great works of the ancient nations of Zanesville, Ohio, discovery of a quantity of metallic balls hidden by the ancient nations, supposed to have been gold, with conjectures concerning their use. The use of the sling by the ancient nations in America, and remains of ancient pottery in the West. A catacomb of embalmed mummies found in Kentucky, supposed to be of Egyptian origin, with suppositions how they may have found America. A facsimile of the true Phoenician letters. Ancient letters or alphabets of Africa and of America, with a facsimile of their shapes, showing them to be one in origin. A further account of Western antiquities with antediluvian traits, the breaking up of the fountains of the great deep, and of the building of the Ark of Noah in America. The skeleton of a whale recently found in Virginia, near 100 miles from sea. Discovery of an ivory image in a bone mound at Cincinnati, with conjectures respecting it. Sculptured hieroglyphics found in a cave on the Ohanditi who inhabited it. Accounts of the bones of the mammoth in the West, tracks of men and animals in the rocks of Tennessee and elsewhere. Kotu Bamanan, the giant chief of an American island, his tragical end, with other curious notice. A further account of discoveries in the West as given by the antiquarian societies in Cincinnati. So this is a pretty detailed, in-depth document and book. I'm not going to read all of them. I'm pretty sure people get the gist that this is a very detailed research book and document we all need. It's over 400 pages. I'm pretty sure a lot of people have not even heard of the in-depthness of this topic. You'd have to really have access to these books, this knowledge, a lot of these terms, these ancient peoples. These things are not taught in everyday society. And you can't even learn all these things through social media, So this information is definitely needed to be studied, dissected, and embraced. The origins of the nations of America is a real serious topic right now in the world, with immigration, different groups of peoples, different bloodlines. People deserve to know the origins of the Americas and the chronology, and the terms that we should be embracing and the terms that we should be rejecting that were labeled on people. As we know, India is the place that Columbus thought he discovered when he came to the Americas, because he had been to India and he had saw the similar peoples with, with turbans, with headdresses, with certain phenotypes. So understanding that America has a very ancient lineage, and a lot of these, even biblical stories, like it's saying about Noah and the floods, there were many flood stories of many cultures, and even just understanding Pangea more, because the colonial history is just one piece of this pie of ancient history. So I definitely encourage brothers to reach out to me if you would like this document or book. I have it, as you can see, on the bottom ticker at the bottom, for any books, PDF books, this rare document. Email me. Drop your email in the chat, herbsofmayat@herbsofmayat.com. Just a small donation. You could get this book tonight. So I definitely encourage brothers to reach out to me. Leave your email in the chat and tap in with us. We do classes every Saturday and Sunday on the same platform, the Burning Bush Tabernacle. We are a school. We are a brotherhood, sisterhood. We've been studying and researching for the last 6 years as a group. We are a think tank. We do a meet and greet every year, and we welcome brothers and sisters who want to get to know us in the flesh. Shake each other's hand. We're regular people. We're not above anyone. We just study spirituality, history, law, geography, animal science, antiquities. As the book was saying, you have to study the old world, and the old world was not as long ago as you may seem. Many cultures built on top of old cultures, and the evidence still remained in stone and mounds. As the contents of this book was stating, Ohio has a lot of history. There are a lot of states that have a lot of ancient American history that needs to be read, studied, and understood as the history of the Americas. I'm not gonna touch on that book too much more. I'm gonna actually highlight the book I had, the other book called Deeper Roots, the history of Muslims in the Americas, or Muslims. And this is a must-have book as well. I recommend brothers reach out to me and get, if you're interested. Email me. Leave your email in the chat. Just to read some of the table contents of this book. Part 1, Reflections on History. Part 2, The Golden Age of Islamic Civilization. Part 3, Early America from Ancient Times. Part 4, Muslim presence in the Americas before Columbus. Part 5, African slash Muslim presence in the Americas before Columbus. Part 6, Muslim presence in early America post Columbus. Part 7, African Muslim presence in American slavery. Part 8, the indentured labor period of the 19th century. Part 9, Muslims in the 19th and 20th century, economic migration. Excuse me. And part 10, lessons from deeper roots. So this is a very in-depth study on a little known or little taught topic in most schools, colleges as well. This is the Islamic, coming from the Islamic perspective, the African Muslim time periods. There was a time where Islam was on top of the world. Islam was the dominant religion. Islam was colonizing the world, conquering kings and queens, converting them, literally. Just like the world of Christianity we have up until this today. This is definitely a topic worth studying if you're a historian, if you're an educator, if you have children. You just want to make sense of history and the world we live in today. This is a a thing we all must understand. Like I said, this is just an introduction to one of the vast library that we have here at the Burning Bush Tabernacle. We have thousands of books. I dare say a million books at least that we have access to through different databases, through our personal files, through libraries, through private collections. This is a lifelong collection that our founder has shared with us through his studies, through his travels, through his different backgrounds of schooling, private and public groups, royal libraries, royal archives. This isn't just books that you get from the internet. These aren't just books you can find in Barnes and Nobles. These are definitely gems and jewels. Let me try to share this screen. I'm sorry. Let me share this. I was reading it and wasn't even sharing it. Let me show y'all the table of contents that I was reading from. So I thank all brothers and sisters for tapping in. If any of you all would like to leave your email, drop it in the chat. Tap in with us every weekend, every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We have our book club. We have our study group. We have our workout classes. I definitely encourage brothers to join us in, because to have a sharper mind, you must the body and mind must agree. You can't be fit in the mind and flabby in the body. You have to have energy. You have to have oxygen. You have to have brain power. We're not just bookworms per se. We are students of the Bible, of the Quran, of the Moorish Quran. We just understand that a prophet is sent to his own people, and through Moorish science, Noble Drew Ali, through Sheikh Kari Goodman El Bey, we found wisdom, ancient wisdom, and we apply it to our everyday lives to improve our lives. This wisdom isn't secret; it's sacred. We are the true custodians of this ancient wisdom. We should be educating ourselves on it, educating our family on it with love, not with arrogance, sharing truths. The truth stands alone. The truth has no side. But it takes, a lot of people went to college. A lot of us went to school, and we weren't educated on these topics. And that's why we have the Burning Bush Tabernacle, the BBT Book Club, BBT Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School. We welcome you all to join us every weekend and study with us, ask us for books, ask questions. That's the only way you get anywhere. You can't study all this alone. You have to dialogue with other scholars, other students. And that's one of the lovely things that we offer here and do through the Burning Bush Tabernacle. Let me show the cover of this book one more time. The History of Muslims in the Americas. This is a topic I personally have a lot of love for because, growing up, going to Catholic schools, I was always intrigued when they would talk about the Byzantine Empire, which always seemed like it was the middle of the world. It wasn't quite Europe. It wasn't quite Africa. So I always had a sixth sense that was a crossroad landmass. So just trying to picture who those people were was always intriguing to me. And as I got older and traveled to Islamic lands, to African lands, it started making a lot more sense and becoming more clearer. When you go out of the country and you see people who look like you, look like your family, look like your friends, you don't need a book per se you don't need a blood test to understand that your blood lineage goes further than just chattel slavery, prisoners of war. And when you understand who the Moors were in history and what they did and what they brought to many lands of the world, I started to understand why different colonies wanted to enslave certain people, wanted to capture and bottle up people's wisdom, people's traditions, to the point where they outlawed them, banned them, belittled them. So this Moorish Islamic history, it's a beautiful thing to study because it's so much to learn about and uncover. as enthusiastic as dinosaur researchers are when they're going to dust off dirt in the middle of nowhere, and when they find that one little artifact and bone, how excited they are and enthusiastic to study it and carbon date it and find out the origins. That's how we have to be with this history. We have to cherish this history and this wisdom, because there have been civilizations who have tried to wipe it off the face of this earth, defame it, you know, so many ruins and artifacts have been mislabeled, have been destroyed. But as we know, you can't annihilate a history that's this deep and this vast. So again, my name is Noble Moso L of the Burning Bush Tabernacle. Check me out. I have a herbal tea company, Mayat Sons. You can follow me. You have Instagram. Right there on the bottom, MAATSUNZ. Check me out on Instagram. I'm a herbalist. I also do stretch therapy. If you're in the DC, Maryland area. Just overall healing. My background is history. I went to college for history. And all these modalities, have made up who I am today, and I'm continuing to educate myself in my studies and help people who want to elevate physically, mentally, spiritually, and financially, because it takes finances to build our nation and our people, and we should be able to invest with each other, barter with each other, trade services. Again, this is my tea right here. I deliver it. I have half gallons. I have 16 ounce. I have an 8-ounce bottle as well. Herbal blends for respiratory aids, for iron boosting, for energy, for parasitic cleansing. I have many remedies. So I encourage brothers to tap in with me, sisters tap in with me. Mayat Sons on Instagram. If you're on Instagram, I encourage you to follow me and check out some of the things I've been doing over the years. And again, I hope to see some brothers and sisters at our workout classes with Noble Malik L. Reed every Saturday, every Sunday, 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on this same platform. You can watch us live, or you can ask us to join live, and we'll give you access to the stream, to the Zoom. But again, happy Holy Friday. I appreciate brothers and sisters who tapped in. Again, leave your email if you're ever trying to reach out to us so we can get back to you. And check us out, the Burning Bush Tabernacle, Science Temple and School.com. And my herbal website is herbsofmayat.com. And we have a plethora of books, literature, and documents, regalia, looking for fezzes, turbans, kufis, suits. We're definitely a one-stop shop at MOORISHhaberdasher.com. And these are all powered by ALO Design Pros, our noble Alonzo Wright Bay. Gratitude for tapping in. Much love, light, and peace.
I'm a spirit speaking, truth seeking, heart reaching, knowledge leaking, seeds sowing, harvest reaping, man of meager means. I have yet.
mypdfbooks.com. That's books with a Z.
Once again, this broadcast has been brought to you by mypdfbooks.com. That's books with a Z, where reading fundamental. Also brought to you by bindedbooks.com, where treasures are bound. Be sure to get all of your teas at My Son's Teas, the tea of teas, divinely prepared at herbsofmyaunt.com. Be sure to check out all of those musical stylings by Brian Hicks Spade at bhspademusic.com. For your everyday items and religious regalia, be sure to check out MOORISHhaberdasher.com. And for that everyday especial Moorish drip, be sure to check out moresachi.com. And all of these companies are powered by ALO Design Pros. Design your online business strategy today.
No such thing as failure, baby. Don't forget who made you. You can't be thinking minor when you need to be thinking major. They made you think they saved you, but can't nobody save you. And